Hello, my math friends. Today we have a question from Jackie. This is a pre-calculus question, so let's dive right in. What we have here is tan cubed x times secant cubed x equals secant fourth x minus secant squared x, all of that times secant x tan x. Now that is a lot to handle, but don't worry, I'm going to help you through this. What are we trying to accomplish in this problem? That's the first question we need to know. We need to know what we're doing. Our goal ultimately is to make sure that the left side of the equation equals the right side of the equation. So I'm going to show you how we get there. One of the most important things on this topic is to know your identities. Now over here, I've written an identity that we're going to use, and I'll show you how it's applied in this problem. So first off, let's look at this group secant fourth x minus secant squared x. I'm going to factor out the secant squared x. And so what I'm left with on the inside is secant squared x minus 1. So if you need to brush up on your factoring, I highly encourage you to do so. Now you can double check that you did this correct. So just keep in mind that factoring sometimes is quote unquote the reverse of the distributive property. So you can check with the distributive property that you've done your factoring accurately. So what I mean by that is secant squared x times secant squared x is what? Secant fourth x. So that's correct. And secant squared x times negative 1 is negative secant squared x. So hence the minus secant squared x there. So we've done our factoring correctly and we can move on. Next thing we're going to do is deal with this little group right here, secant squared x minus 1. And what we're going to be doing is using this identity over here in order to help us with the next step. So the identity is secant squared x equals tan squared x plus 1. Now that's just like a given, and if you don't have a list of these, I encourage you to get one, memorize them, or have it handy. In its current form, it's not really useful to us, so what I'm going to do is apply some algebra. You'll notice that I've subtracted 1 from both sides, so 1 minus 1 is 0, and then I have to make sure I do it to the left side. Basic algebra. So what I end up getting here is secant squared x minus 1 on the left equals tan squared x. Now this is going to be useful to me, and what I mean by that is if you notice our secant squared x minus 1, we can see that right over here, secant squared x minus 1. All right. What can I replace that with? I'm going to replace it with tan squared x because over here on the right, my identity tells me that secant squared x minus 1 is equivalent to tan squared x. So just a couple reminders, you can manipulate these algebraically to make them useful for you in working through these problems. Now we're pretty much at the end of this problem. All you've got to do now is simplify stuff. So tan squared x times tan x is tan cubed x, and secant squared x times secant x is secant cubed x. So at the end of the day, you'll notice that the left side, and normally I would write it all the way down, is now equivalent to the right side. And you have accomplished working through this problem. Hopefully you found this helpful. Good luck, and you can do it.